Yeah, that's right. I've been on The Tonight Show. Yeah, I was on The Tonight Show 3 years ago. And you know, they don't just let any comedian on The Tonight Show. They really don't. You have to do this shit for like years, day in, day out, odd hours for sometimes total losers, and you just tell yourself, one day this will change, one day this will change, one day this will change, and then The Tonight Show calls. Did you know after you do The Tonight Show, you just go home? I stood outside 30 Rock and I called a wait and save. 3 years later, I'm on a stand-up show sponsored by Dr. Squatch. And you know, when you do The Tonight Show, they post, the next day, they post your life's work on the internet, where the entire internet comments on your physical and mental well-being. I posted like stand-up clips, I'm doing stand-up. I've seen comments be like, why the fuck does she stand like that? Why does she stand so fucking weird? And then somebody defending me went, hey, she has scoliosis. I was like, I do? I wasted a whole fucking day looking in the mirror, just like, what the fuck? No, I don't. Somebody else defend me. And then finally somebody chimes in and they go, hey, they have scoliosis. So then some guy from the alt-right sees it and he's like, shut the fuck up! And I liked only his comment. But the whole Tonight Show experience was really dramatic for me because when I was going on, I was gonna talk about being trans in my set, but I hadn't come out yet to my family. So I literally, before my set, had to call my parents and tell them I'm trans, and my dad puts my mom on speakerphone, and they just start going back and forth like, well, can she just be gay? Yeah, just be gay. Yes, be gay, please, just be gay. Do you know how bad you have to fuck up for your immigrant parents to beg you to be gay? And I took all that in stride until my dad was like, if you transition, if you do anything to your body, your grandma's gonna die. She's gonna fucking die instantly. And then I said some shit like, what, so she's easy to get rid of? Sorry. I did not handle that well. I was so hurt. My dad said that knowing that my grandma is like my favorite person in the entire world. Like, when I was a baby, she immigrated from China to raise me. So like everything I learned about the world, I learned through her. A lot of it I did have to unlearn. A lot of it was factually incorrect. The things my grandma says are not only racist, they're scientifically impossible. I was not allowed to date Indian people because in her words, their blood is 100 degrees Celsius. When I was like 8 years old, we were like walking around this Michigan mall and my grandma was like, you know, a lot of white people are in wheelchairs, huh? But not Asian people. You wanna know why? Because those people wear shorts in the winter. And she said that to get me to wear at least 2 pairs of pants. I thought if I didn't, my legs would freeze off. And sometimes I'd go to school with jeans over jeans over jeans, and then all the kids would laugh at me, and I turned into this like little serial killer. I'd go into school like... You laugh at me now. We'll see who's laughing when one of us is in a wheelchair. But I do have to give my grandma props, though. She's actually a U.S. citizen. She passed the U.S. citizenship test, even though she does not know English. She memorized the questions and answers phonetically. Do you understand? Like, she literally memorized what sounds they were gonna make and what sounds she needs to make to pass. And what it feels like, sometimes being around her, it feels like I'm living with a sleeper cell agent. Because at home, she'll be walking around like, Deibuchi, no English. Deibuchi, no English. And I'll go, what are the 13 original colonies? She'll be like, Maryland! Massachusetts! Massachusetts. I'll be like, the British are coming. She starts reloading a gun. I say 9/11. She says, not on my watch. Love my grandma, but I am on testosterone. She doesn't need to know. And sometimes trans guys, when they're on testosterone, they make these YouTube videos where they document the changes happening to their voice month to month. You know what I mean? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's like, this is my voice 1 month on T, 2 months on T. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel where I pick a new voice every month. I'm gonna get on YouTube and be like, hi. This is my voice 3 months on T. And then maybe a year in, I'm like, hello? Mom? Dad? I'm scared. It's so dark. And my clit is so big. Yeah, T made my clit huge. What's up? Yup. Yeah, this shit's 9 inches up. Okay, sorry, this is so sexual. I need to take a beat. It's hard for me. I did not grow up in a sexually positive household. You know, my parents never talked to me about sex. The only person that ever gave me a sex talk was my younger brother. When we were kids, he literally turned to me. He was like, Sabrina, do you watch porn? I was like, no. He went, oh, well, I highly recommend it. He legit forgot he was like my younger baby brother. I said, I don't masturbate. He went, Sabrina. And I was so repressed as a kid. Like in the 7th grade, my classmates had like a Halloween party. And like, I remember we were playing cards and then somebody was like, wait, like we should play spin the bottle. And I did not feel comfortable with that. So I stood straight up and I said, I'm leaving. Who's with me? It was not enough for me to just walk away. I had to become Greta fucking Thunberg. I stood up, I said, the people united will never be defeated. Hey. Oh. These fucking sluts have got to go. Guys, you would not believe what these fucking repressed lesbians did to me this summer. A bunch of butch-ass, like the gayest fucking butchest women asked me to be on their basketball team. I said, okay. Because I love lesbians. I want to be in community with them. Turns out these women are completely straight cops. They have badges and husbands. And they tell me they're straight, even though each and every single one of them on my team looks like Rosie O'Donnell. When we take pictures as a group and we smile, the women, they're all smiling like this. They're gay. They have to be gay. You know what I think? Do you think that becoming a cop is like the girl version of becoming a priest? You know what I'm saying? Like when gay guys don't really want to be gay, they can kind of be like, oh, I'm not gay. I love God. I'm not gay. I love God. And then with women, I think there's a version that's like, yeah, I'd fuck men if I weren't so busy shooting them. Okay, this is a little sad. I know this is a comedy show, but a cop actually did save my grandma's life. Basically, like my grandma was hit by a car, and this cop found her unconscious and called me like from her phone, and like she was sent immediately to the ICU. And so I like flew immediately back to Michigan. I hadn't seen her since I like came out to my parents, and I found out that she was like tied to the bed. They like restrained her to the bed, and like part of it is just because old people in the ICU, they get delirious, they get agitated, it happens, but also they didn't have a translator at the hospital. They used Google Translate. My grandma was hit by a car, woke up in a hospital room with white people poking and prodding her, and they put in a little android that just keeps going, you are safe. You are safe. Do not fight back. My grandma's under bed reloading her fucking gun, like, not on my watch. And so I was like, I think I'm just gonna stay night after night to help her like feel more safe, to translate. Hopefully that helps. And then like a few nights in, she does get more lucid and she says to me, Sabrina, you saved me and I really missed you. Yeah, I felt touched, but I also felt so bad. I was like, I have to come out to her. And if she dies, they cannot pin that on me. There's a fucking car. So I told my grandma that I told her I was gay because I don't really know the Chinese word for trans. I need my parents to tell me Chinese, you know, they're not giving me anything. I asked my mom how to say vagina, like, in Chinese for work, and she said, why would I know how to say that? So I told my grandma I'm extra gay. And she said, how long have you known? And I said, many years. And she said, well, you should have told me sooner, because then I could have done something about it. That fucking bitch! And even though she was being a total fucking cunt, I was so worried about her because she was 80 years old and she had multiple rib fractures, multiple pelvis fractures, and she had 16 fractures in her legs alone. And I asked the doctor, like, is she gonna be okay? And the doctor said to me, listen, like, a patient of this age with this severe of an injury usually doesn't make a full recovery. But when your grandma was hit, she was wearing 2 pairs of pants. So she won't be needing a wheelchair, actually. Yeah, you like that from the beginning? Okay.